Hey everybody, this is going to be a part two of my last video on passport pros as commercial airline pilots, and let me explain why. On Friday, I was on Pure Bama TV's live, shout out to him, and during our conversation, in the chat, I had one of my subscribers, Travel Time. Uh, he posted a video, posted something in the chat. He saw my video and had some criticism about it because he's in the aviation industry and thought it was a good video, good topic, but he had some criticism about it and he wanted to express it, and he did. And I thought it was cool. He had some really good constructive criticism. So I decided I'm going to do a second video. I don't have a problem with constructive criticism at all, as long as it's positive and, it's cool. So what I'm going to do now is to do that. And one of the things he had mentioned was about research. I did my research, but I don't, there's so much stuff to put in the video that it's going to be too long. And with the YouTube algorithm and all that stuff, you don't want to make long videos because people attention spans tends to drift off after a certain amount of minutes. So I try to keep it as short as possible, not too short, but more digestible for you guys to get something so you can do your own research. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start filling a little bit more gaps into this so you get a clear picture of what I was saying in the last video. We're going to talk about cost. And that was one of the things that Travel Time had mentioned. That's a huge barrier. And it is. Because the cost, you're talking about on average about $100,000. Nobody can get something like $100,000 for to do something that you may or may not get a job in. Not there is a shortage, but the way this process, and I'm going to get a little bit into the process, is that you need a certain amount of hours to even be considered for the job, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But the cost, getting a loan for that, you got to have a certain credit score, 720 and above. You can probably get private loans, but that's going to be at a higher interest rate. So your financial affairs need to be in order, preferably having no bills outside of the standard cost of living bills that you incur monthly. So take care of your financial affairs before you jump into this venture, because after this ride is over, you're going to have this huge bill you're going to have to pay. So deal with that issue. Deal with your finances first before jumping into this water. Next is this whole training process that you're going to be going through. You need to accumulate 1,500 hours of flight time to even get your airline transportation pilot certification. Um, when you do this training cycle, by the time you're finished, you're only going to accumulate 250 hours. So you need another 1,250 hours to be qualified. Normally, you'll get that as being a flight instructor for the place you did your training at. And that's basically you're going to be flying for free. Well, they'll pay you, but the pay is not going to be that great. But you'll have the opportunity to get your hours in. That's the key thing. So this process is going to be, when they say your training is going to be about 9 months, you're going to add about another year and a half on top of that, because you got to get those hours to qualify for you can get a job on the airlines. Can it be done? Yes. Um, but you're going to have to do a lot of research on the schools that you're going to be going in. I recommend looking at the airlines because they have programs that will help people. I don't know much about these programs. That's why I say I don't put a lot of the stuff in there. You're going to have to do the research on your own to figure this stuff out. Um, they have programs where they're trying to train people to become pilots so they can get their hours because they're really short staffed on pilots, and they're looking at um, getting more and more pilots. Now there's a bill on Congress floor that they're going to extend the retirement age from 65 to 67. Because with FAA rules, you can't be a commercial pilot past the age of 65. And that's what the whole license. You can still keep a commercial license, but you won't be able to work for the airlines. Um, so that's how bad this pilot shortage is. So right now, you're going to have to figure out how to get those hours, and you have to be very diligent in choosing your training program, which school you're going to go to. If they're promising things so quickly and so fast, take a step back and really evaluate the program. Um, like I said, it's doable, but you really have to be very cautious about some of these programs. This is going to go out to travel time. Thanks for the comments that you left on that live that was on. I will look into that whole flight attendant thing and see if I can rock a video off of that. Understand where I was coming from when I was doing the whole commercial airline pilot thing is because it kind of matches what Passport Bros want to do. They want to travel. And right now you got dudes that are traveling, struggling for money, e-begging and stuff like that, living off of YouTube paychecks. And that's not sustainable. Um, I was just trying to fill that void in. It's like, if you're going to get a job, you want to still do this, go be a pilot. You're still traveling. You're making big bank. And in some cases, I've known some pilots that have, because of doing my research, I was doing this. Some pilots are living overseas and flying in to the United States to do work, or you know, going to their base, which can be, like for example, they can be based in Houston and live in, say, Medellin. They can just fly in and do their thing, and that's it. Is things like that. You know, that type of lifestyle that I'm talking about. You work 2 weeks, and then next 2 weeks you're basically off. Your quality of life, and I could be wrong, but this is stuff that I came across when I was doing my research with the quality of life. You work your 2 weeks, and then you're off for 2 weeks, something like that. So so the 2 weeks you're off, you're flying down to wherever. I could be wrong, but this is the stuff that I researched online. That's why I want to get you for live, so maybe you can clarify a few things from your experience. I don't know what exactly you do for the airlines, but it'd be great to get you on live, and we can talk more. You can educate us more. Um, I'm sorry. Well, I deactivated my email account for Global Passport Crew. Once I got rid of the channel, I am developing a new email address, so that way you can reach out to me. So I will get that up and running. Or if you have an email address, please send it, and I'll reach out to you, and we'll do a live. Because I think the aviation career is beneficial, and you know, this is something that guys can look at and see where they can fit in to this whole passport bro thing, and still fulfill their dreams of living overseas and making US dollars on top of that. So that's all. But anyway, thanks guys. I hope you liked the video. You got a little bit more information out of it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time.